Hey, how's everybody doing? Hopefully you're doing well. This is a clip from our Pulse chat that we did recently, talking about Dragon Ball as a whole, the entire series. Keep in mind, for anyone that doesn't know, Pulse chat is the live podcast that we do here on the channel, and we choose various topics, may it be anime or gaming news or just a specific game itself, and we just kind of talk about it, engage everybody in the audience as well, see what you guys think, and we just have a conversation about whatever topic is at hand. It's also a fantastic way to get to know one another and also get giveaways out too. But either way, this is the first part of the Dragon Ball series discussion, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. How is it going, guys? Welcome to literally this year's first Pulse chat for the channel. I haven't done one of these in a while. So this one today, I'm accompanied by Johnny, who will probably accompany me on every single one going forward. We are actually going to be talking about just the Dragon Ball series as a whole. So literally everything from movies to Dragon Ball Evolution, unfortunately. Not necessarily, we'll cover some stuff that's in the manga. I'm not completely caught up on the manga myself, which is a shame. But I'm getting there, although I am aware of some of the things that happen in it. Johnny is a little more versed on that stuff than I am. But while we are doing that, we just kind of have Dragon Ball Xenoverse gameplay going on in the background from a stream Johnny and I did. Definitely tune into those on Mondays. That's usually when we do anime anything for the most part. It's Anime Monday. What we were doing with Dragon Ball Xenoverse pretty much is just the general fights, every fight from the series in order, movies out of order, and pretty much just trying to reenact all that stuff. But regardless, how is it going, Johnny?
It's going all right. Just got back to the crib, sitting down, chilling.
Yeah, it sounds.
You know how it goes.
Yeah, you got this nice chill music going on in here to try and keep things pretty well rounded. I don't think you can hear the music, but I am a total fan of what's being played right now. I'm honestly hoping the audio is fine because I did not do any audio checks. I kind of just started. Also,
what I can tell is good.
It is? Okay. Funny enough, this is actually the first Pulse chat where we don't have cameras at all, because I'm just like, yeah, I'm not about that today. So, but either way, to anybody that is here, it looks like there's 5 people. That's me, Johnny, and Devin. But either way, welcome to everybody that's here. Obviously, feel free to chat. Anything you guys are saying, we will obviously comment on, and you guys are honestly a part of it. Anytime there's a Pulse chat, anybody in the comments is a part of it. So either way, let's get started. So to start things off, anybody that's unfamiliar with Dragon Ball for whatever reason, that would practically be my subscribers. Funny enough, a lot of them aren't really into anime at all. So just to nutshell all of it, Dragon Ball is a series about a small child named Goku. You watch him grow up through the series, basically becoming stronger and stronger. When he hits, let's say, give or take, controversially, between the age of 16 to 21, he learns that he's actually not human. He's from a different planet, and he was actually sent to Earth to destroy it. He started off as a happy-go-lucky child. His reckless grandfather, I'm going to blame him, although Goku was strong as shit, dropped him in a hole, and he hit his head and forgot his original programming, which was to destroy the planet and kill all life forms there so they can resell the planet. With that being said, they kind of failed in that one epically, and Goku grew up to be a very kind and loving child. After learning martial arts from an old turtle hermit, and for the most part learned a little bit from his grandfather, Goku, hilariously enough, went on a small killing spree without knowing he was actually killing anybody in the Red Ribbon Army, which is kind of what leads to most of the events that happen in the TV show leading up into his adulthood. That's, to my knowledge, Dragon Ball in a nutshell. I don't know if I missed anything or said anything incorrectly there, but I'm pretty sure that's it in a nutshell, right?
And there's some tournaments, and then it was a green slug monster that shows up and spits out a bunch of other green monsters, one of which kills, Krillin.
Yeah,
So
that does happen.
There's a couple of things.
Yeah. But
But in
like,
a nutshell, that's what Dragon Ball's about for the most part.
yeah, it's pretty funny that Goku doesn't realize at all, actually, that he's like literally killed people. Because for him, I mean, it's not necessarily was a game, but I don't think he realized he actually did that. Because it's funny because when you get to Dragon Ball Z, he's like astonished about certain things he learns, like, "Hey, I'm the one that killed my grandfather."
Yeah.
Context to that, to once again people that don't know anything about Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z. So these characters from the planet Vegeta, which is where Goku is from. Although the original show doesn't state that because it's technically not what it's about. He learns all that as an adult, but he has a tail as a child, a monkey tail. And when the full moon is there, much like how a werewolf works, he turns into a ginormous gorilla, and has no recollection of what happened after becoming said gorilla. So, in that state, he trampled his grandfather to death. He doesn't learn that until later, which is hilarious because no one had the heart to tell him. He was an adult in Dragon Ball Z when he learned that. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, actually, because he was fighting Vegeta, and isn't that where he basically learned that?
What, that he was a Saiyan and stuff, or you talk about like when he learned about the whole tail thing?
When he learned about the whole tail thing, because Vegeta explains it to him, like, no, Raditz explains it to him. Oh, your tail, where's your tail? Blah blah blah. Goku kind of dismisses it, but when he sees Vegeta turn into a gorilla, I'm pretty sure that's when he puts two and two together. Right?
Yeah, because he was dead when it happened to Gohan.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So Piccolo was the only one who got to witness that one, and Grandpa Gohan was really the only one who got to witness Goku for real.
So
Actually, it might have been. I think somebody else might have been there.
Well, on a side note, with what Devin says, the awful Japanese Dragon Ball movie from the '89, I've actually remember seeing that, and they had like Oolong inside of a he was inside of it was a person in literally a mascot suit. Honestly, no matter what, even if that movie's awful, it's still better than Dragon Ball Evolution. Like, I'm sorry, but like
Dragon Ball Evolution, man. That movie wasn't accurate in the slightest.
Well, no, like they basically took the original Dragon Ball story and made him an adult in high school, like a teenager in high school, and called him Geeko. Like that was supposed to be the joke. Is they're bullying him, this person that's supposed to be super strong, who apparently doesn't know it, and they're calling him Geeko. And they're like, oh yeah, look at Geeko over here. And he's sitting there like, oh, all the guys in school call me Geeko. It's like, what?
I think the most alarming thing about that is that he knows what dating a person is. Like, not even anything to add to that, just is.
Yeah.
Like in the show, he's like, I thought a wife is something you eat, or a bride is something you eat, or whatever.
Yeah. It just, that movie, there's so much that could be said about Dragon Ball. The only thing Dragon Ball Evolution did right was Yamcha. That was it. And there was no Puar. But they still did Yamcha correctly, and I think that's all they did correctly was just Yamcha. So that's actually depressing.
The thing that really upset me about it too was like, I actually like Justin Chatwin and Amy Rossum, mainly because of Shameless, but it doesn't matter. I still really like these actors, and then they put them in this movie as Bulma and Goku, and I was just like, I don't know how I feel about this. And then poor James Marsters being thrown into this. Like, Spike didn't need to be painted green with weird little protrusions coming from his head.
Can I like point out the elephant in the room that nobody realized that, or really no one's ever said? I think I'm the only one that stated that Piccolo in that movie kind of looked like Ivan Ooze from the first Power Rangers movie.
I really like you said that before. That was oh my god, just everything about Piccolo. Actually, Piccolo is probably the best part of the movie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even mad about Piccolo.
It's just Ivan Ooze. Like, I would pull up a picture right now, but I don't know if I want those memories. You guys can Google that yourself. Look up Ivan Ooze, from the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie, and then look up Piccolo from Dragon Ball Evolution. They no. They look exactly the same. It's not no, just no. Just everything's no about that entire thing. Yeah, honestly, say what?
What Devin said, like he
Yeah, the guy was a big fan. He's from Buffy.
well, I know he's a big fan, but I didn't know he came back for Zamasu.
Oh yeah, yeah, he did Zamas's voice actor, which Devin actually told me that as well.
I didn't know
And
about that until just now.
yeah, that it was very interesting information, especially since they let him come back.
Yeah, too bad I hate Zamasu.
Yeah.
So
Well, you know what? Here's the thing with Dragon Ball. Let's say they did it correctly. That if they did a Dragon Ball movie with Goku being a child, they can do that using basically practical effects and barely any visual effects and still make it work very well. Because if you look at original Dragon Ball, the only real visual effect they'll need is if Bulma were to use a capsule in Goku's tail. Otherwise, I feel like, yeah, child actors, they can be cringe, but I mean, we've seen Stranger Things and a couple other shows where they're not. If they train one up properly or get one that can do the role, they could easily cast a kid Goku, do the story correctly, and cover it from the start of Dragon Ball all the way to the point where he learns Kamehameha and literally stop it there. So that unless I'm getting this order incorrectly, Goku and Bulma meet, and then they meet Master Roshi, and then he meets Krillin, and then they train, and then after that, that's when he meets Chi-Chi and the Ox King and learns Kamehameha. Or is that before he meets Krillin?
yeah, that is a. I think he already knew Krillin at that point.
Because
Pretty sure.
I don't remember how many episodes in it was before he actually learned the Kamehameha, but depending on how long that is, they could easily make a live action movie that starts from the beginning up to the point where he learns Kamehameha, and it would seriously work really well. And they don't have to use very many effects other than maybe some of the different dinosaurs and creatures that are in the story. And they could make it work. I mean, unless they have, bad story writing. But I feel like the original Dragon Ball is the easiest way to start because it's over ambitious, in my opinion, to try and do a Dragon Ball Z story with how much stuff the characters actually do as far as the flying is concerned, as far as the teleporting, all the blasts. Keeping it like a basic martial arts movie with just very minimal effects, that would not only help with budget and getting things done right, but I feel like they'd be able to write that fairly easily, especially since Dragon Ball was super lenient and most of that was pretty much just about the overall adventure. So theoretically, there wasn't much story there other than the general beats of him meeting her, returning the turtle to Master Roshi, and then getting the Nimbus, which they probably have to animate that, but getting the Nimbus, a few creatures that are there, and general martial arts. They can make that work easily.
The best part about it would be just the sheer amount of hands being thrown in that show, like in the movie, because the whole show of Dragon Ball, because it was so martial arts focused, the fights were so cool. They weren't sitting there screaming for 3 episodes trying to power up or anything, and then you see like 2 punches, and then they're like, fight on next time on Dragon Ball Z. You can actually watch a fight happen, which is great. I personally enjoy that.
Yeah.
And then, my boy Yamcha.
Yeah, I feel like original Dragon Ball, if they were to make a live action movie, they need to not focus on Dragon Ball Z. Just focus on Dragon Ball. Get the fan base going. Get make a good product. Don't let Netflix do it. And then, I mean, they can hit the ground running very easily just using that, just because they just keep it basic. Even if they get to the Raditz point, that wasn't even that bad. Like, Dragon Ball didn't get too crazy until the Frieza saga, I guess. I guess against.
You have to introduce all the aliens, and Vegeta has to die and come back, and then die and come back, and then Krillin has to die and come back. Gohan has to die and come back and get his neck snapped. Like,
Oh,
there's a
dude, that was
lot.
bad. Boy, you just brought a topic. Gohan, up until the start of the Android saga, wasn't that boy 6?
Like 4.
That's messed up.
I think it was like 4 or 5 when Goku like pulls up on Kame House. It's like, hey, here's my son. And they're like, my son, because obviously they never thought that Goku could sex. So like this random kid that he just shows up with years later, you know.
Yeah,
But it is what it is on that one. Like he was definitely like 4 or 5.
dude, just so Goku dies, and the Saiyan saga, I mean the Namek saga, excuse me, is literally a year after, because it takes Goku a year to go down Stake Way and then make his way to Namek. So Devin says he was 4. I'm thinking he was 5, because I don't think he was 3 when they met Yamcha, right? No, not Yamcha. When they met Raditz, I don't think he was 3, was he? Because like if he was 4, so if we think of the timestamps, Goku was 4. I mean, Gohan would have had to have been 4. Dealt with all that stuff. Goku dies, and then comes back to fight Nappa. So that's a year later. So he's 5 at that point. And then Goku gets injured. Those two leave and flee, and then they go to Namek. How long did they say it takes to get to Namek? Do you remember? Because I don't. I'm sure Devin will.
A couple of months.
Couple of months. So he had to have been 5 on Namek, because that means he met them at 4 years old. Goku died. The year goes by, comes to 5 years old. Takes a couple months. So he was easily 5 years old on Namek.
Yeah. I mean, either way, he's a child.
Yeah, who shouldn't be getting his neck snapped.
No, he shouldn't.
Like
that was probably the hardest thing for him to go through at that point in his life, obviously, because before that he just got kidnapped and then shoved in a pod and then knocked out. But and then I guess torture training with Piccolo.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Yeah, and then watched all his friends die.
Yeah, you want to talk about childhood trauma? Gohan actually should have turned out worse if you think about it.
Yo, if everything that happened to Goku was what caused him to go Super Saiyan, like the rage and the hurt and everything, Gohan should have gone Super Saiyan before him.
Way before Goku, because Gohan actually like went through something. Like, no offense to Goku, but Goku's like, oh, I lost my friend of 20 years, and Gohan's like, I watched everybody die. I panicked. I was alone. I got my neck snapped. My dad's never there. My mom's always yelling at me. Hey, if anybody's got pent-up rage, it has to be Gohan.
Yeah, which is why every time he got angry, like when he fought Frieza, angry, he was mopping Frieza, and Frieza like, hold on, this child should not be this strong. I am Frieza. And then transforms and stuff. Like, just him against Cell, obviously he's angry in that one. At first he was crying, but like then he becomes angry. And then but I guess he didn't get angry during Boo.
Well, yeah, it's just the whole deal with Gohan. The fact that Japan didn't like Gohan, so he couldn't be the main character, is appalling to me. But even with that being said, that doesn't mean write the character into the dirt.
No, not at all. Like I understand them not liking Gohan because I didn't like him that much at first. Not until Namek. That's when I started liking Gohan. But before Namek, like, I mean, granted, I understand he was 4 years old. He was just sitting there crying the entire time, and I was just like, I'm not about this. But once he became like useful, that's when I was like, okay, I'm in it. I'm all for Gohan taking over the mantle for Goku.
So even when you were a kid, you didn't like Gohan?
Oh, dude, no. I was like, oh my god, all he does is cry.
So from my experience and anyone that I know, people really liked Gohan because that's how they tried to do cartoons back in the day. It's like the character Gohan was a character children related to because he's also a child, and that's why kids liked Piccolo, because they looked up to him even though he was psychotic. I did like Gohan until Trunks came into the scene. But
Yeah.
I did like Gohan an awful lot when I was a kid. So when I saw him get his neck snapped, I'm like, Goku's not going to be happy. I didn't.
Luckily, he didn't see his dead body.
That's fair. That's 100% fair.
So he's okay on that one.
It's just what they did to Gohan. It's like they basically brought him up to be not only the strongest character, but just a good character overall. And then when they got to even the Boo arc, I mean, I wouldn't say they did him dirty necessarily. Sure, he was a bit weaker, but he was still like a good character. He was still a character you can root for. And then you get to that point in the Boo arc where he's somehow dumb enough to get absorbed and not really noticing the stuff that's happening around him.
Yeah.
And then there's Dragon Ball Super. Hey everyone, that marks the end of this first part of our Pulse Chat. Keep in mind, Pulse Chats are usually live broadcasts, but with that being said, we always do make some that are also pre-recorded. That way you can enjoy them at your leisure and you don't have to worry too much about us talking to people during the stream. Although, with that being said, while you're in the stream, the entire thing is completely interactive. Everything that you guys are saying, we also respond to as well. And that keeps the conversation going and the conversation stronger as well. So be sure to join Pulse Chats when we do them. But hopefully you enjoyed this, and part 2 will be coming up very soon.